Hello, my name is Chris and I'm a U-Haul hitch professional. If you're planning on towing a trailer with your Kia Niro, then you're going to need trailer wiring. It is required by the law. Now let's take a look at this install. You will need the following tools or supplies to complete this installation. Begin this installation with your cargo door open and remove your floor coverings. We're now going to remove our rear scuff panel. You have 2 trim panel clips that you need to remove. You can use a flathead screwdriver or a trim panel tool, but these ones seem to be coming out quite easy. Now gently pull up on the scuff panel, releasing the clips holding it down. You can now remove 2 Phillips head screws. One is here right underneath the scuff panel. The other one is down here on the side trim in the floorboard. You can now remove the knockout to gain access to the wiring. As well, we will gently pull the trim away from the vehicle in order to gain access to the grommet where the wires will pass in from. You can now gently depress the tab to remove the electrical connection. And now repeat for your passenger side. You can now gently pry back the passenger trim for ease of routing the power wire to the battery. With our interior trim loosened and prepared, we can now move under the vehicle so we can disconnect the taillights and begin connecting the wire harness. You can now locate the adapter for each taillight in the bumper. Be sure to depress the tab and gently remove it. You can now connect in the yellow wires connector. There is a trim panel on the passenger side. You may want to remove this for ease of access. Use a flathead screwdriver to pop the 3 trim clips. And if you desire, a 14mm socket can loosen the last nut. We're now ready to connect the black power wire so that we can route it and the red and brown wires into the cargo area. Use a heat shrink butt connector to connect the wires. Melt the plastic with a heat source like a butane soldering iron. You are now ready to pass the red, brown, and black power wire into the cargo area. The grommet can be found hiding underneath the carbon canister. Let's put a small slit in the grommet to allow the wires to pass through. Use the provided double-sided sticky tape to affix the converter box to the top of the hitch crossbar, giving yourself as much slack for your wires to the driver's side as possible. We can now reach down behind the trim and grab our wires. You can now connect the red and brown connector. Now route the black wire behind this trim so we can get it over to the passenger side in the battery. Be sure and pull up all the excess slack from underneath the vehicle. You can use a couple provided zip ties to secure the power wire to this existing sensor. You can now trim off some of your excess black wire and affix the fuse holder. Pass it behind the trim before you install. You can now open the positive terminal of the battery. Use a 10mm socket to remove this nut. Place the ring terminal over the post and reaffix with the nut. You can now trim the cover to allow the wire to pass through. Use your tin snips to make a small triangle. You can now mount the white wire with the self-tapping screw to a bare metal surface. We can now return to the underside of the vehicle to reseat the grommet, secure any excess wiring with a zip tie, and then mount the connector to a bracket. If you do not have one of these, you can pick it up at your nearest local U-Haul hitch center, or you can order one from the link in the description below. It does come with provided hardware. I, however, prefer to use a rivet. Use the bracket as a template to drill out 2 holes using a 3/16 drill bit. Now place the retention strap of your dust cover over the connector, pass it through the bracket, and place on the cover. Insert your 10-amp fuse. You can now reinstall all the removed trims and fasteners. That concludes trailer wiring for your Kia Niro. Please remember to practice safe trailering, and I can't wait to see you out there. If you have any questions about the products seen in this video, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with your local U-Haul hitch professional, please visit us online at uhaulhitches.com. You can also download the U-Haul app using the link in the description for even more ways to manage your hitch and towing needs.